Hello, in this section of the tutorial we're going to learn about a pretty neat function that the calculator has, and that is that it has the ability to solve simple equations. So maybe you have an equation, a simple algebra equation, 2x plus 3 is equal to 0 or something like that, and you know how to manipulate that and to subtract and divide and figure out what x is equal to. Well, the calculator can do that too. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My job here is the way I see it, is to teach you how to use this calculator the best that you can, but also to teach you its limitations so that you know what you really have here in your hands. And in this particular case, this particular function of solving equations, I think it does have a use if you're really stumped or if you have a really complicated, polynomial or something like that to solve. But it does have some limitations that's going to basically, I think, prevent you from using it very, very often. But I want to go ahead and walk through it really to show you what those limitations are and also what it is useful for so that you can use it. So what we need to do to use the equation solver is to go into the math menu, and it's right here in this first little submenu, math. And if you go down here, let's see, past fmin, fmax, it's the very last one. It's 0 here. So you can scroll down and you can hit enter, or you can just go and hit the 0 button for the equation solver, and that's what that is. So let's go ahead and press 0 here, and we'll go into the equation solver. So this is where we want to be. Now, the number one thing you have to remember and know when you're using the equation solver in this calculator is that whatever equation you put in here, you have to set it equal to 0. So for instance, if you had an equation, x plus 2 is equal to 4. You cannot type that in directly into this calculator, x plus 2 is equal to 4, because the way the calculator accepts the input, it already has to be equal to 0. So if you have something like x plus 2 is equal to 4, you need to subtract 4 from both sides so that your equation is going to always equal to 0. So basically, whatever equation you have, you need to basically manipulate it so that it's equal to 0, and then you can type it in. So if you had an equation like, let's just take a simple one. Let's say x plus 3 is equal to 0. So what you would do, and you wanted to solve that for x, and that's a super simple equation. That's why I'm choosing it first, just so you can see what it's doing. So if you had x plus 3,